Slow! Stand up on their toes! Good! Good, good. That's it. Don't dive! Good! Come on, 41, get that face matching up. Finish. Bad guys, don't get too wide. Let them work more downhill. Go! Good, that's a better look. Get that left arm up. Go! Good, there you go, good. Get that shot, get separation. Go! Finish it. Going other way. Here we go, pop up. Here we go. Ready? Go! Finish it, finish it. Attacking low line. Go! Shot. Good. Go. Good push, Paul. Go! Good flash. Good flash. Roll though, roll. You're not going to be able to drive him when we go with our low tackle. Go! That's it, good. Good fish. Good. Go! Good. Good shot. Good shot. Go! Go. Here we go. Strong. Lock. Separate. Get him off your chest. Pull your elbow through. Pull your elbow through. Keep your chest. Big ass. Lock. Go again. Strong with that knee. Sub. Bring that knee. Run that leg. Run that right leg. Separate. Get him off your chest. Lock your elbow. All that strength, that inside leg to the block. Pass up. Get to the middle. Okay, you go. Nice and easy. It's not a sprint. You got it? Here we go. You want to see us throwing and then clubbing it. Here we go. Separate. That's it. Here we go. Lock. That's it. Now the back. Here we go. Lock. Separate. Sink your hips. Ready. Sink your hips. Go. Go. Lock. Separate. Stay low. Bend our knees. Separate. Let's go, Don. You can't be in the face. I'm shoulder width apart. Sink your hips. Let's go. Stay low. You gotta stay low. You gotta stay here. First thing you're doing is raising up and locking your damn knees. You have no strength. Pass down, knees.
Yep.
You start in this body position. We stay in this body position. Here we go. Lock. Let's go. Sink your hips. Sink your hips. Ass down. Sink your hips. Throw. Let's go. Strong knee. That's it. Keep going.
To a better position. Because if I do it correctly, my jam is going to get him back and me forward. I'm still high.
You're high shoulder.
Right. And now what's going to happen is if that guy gets outside of my cylinder and I jam back here, I'm shit out of luck because I'm pushing and passing. So that's why it's very important that my jam has to happen inside. And this is what I tell my guys. If you want to play on Sundays, don't use your hands.
That's the hardest thing I got.
And that's what you have to do with their feet. Because if I play good press, my hands are only insurance. Bad press guys got to use their hands, but it goes back to trying to be too aggressive and grab the guy, right? So early on, that's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. You don't have hands. You're here. You're here. Then you're going to have, all right, hey, now you just got one hand to jam. He's here. All right, now you got this hand to jam. But if I'm really good, I'm all feet. Well, my feet are going to get me in position. because they're going to get so handsy that, you get penalties. We went through about 3 games where we got PIs all the time because we were getting too handsy because our technique was bad.
So with those guys that rely on their hands like that, how do you fix their depth? Do you back them up for about 3 years or 2 years, or do you keep them?
I think you got to know your personnel. Different guys you want to play different. Stanley, Stanley, 6'2", 220, right? He can use his hands because it's the best thing he has, his length, right? Josh Mitchell, 5'9", 165. Back him up a little bit because I don't want him fighting. Because the more I get down there, that guy's going to start swatting my shoulder and pushing past me. So different guys, I think you coach differently. Stanley, big, strong guy, get down there and use your hands. Josh, more of a little bug guy, use your feet, get yourself in position. But you got to coach every guy different. And you don't want to lock yourself in a coach saying, be 2 yards, be 1 yard, be 3 yards. Be you. Because every one of your guys are going to be different. They're all going to have the same principles that you coach, but don't bottle them up that they all got to look the same. And you watch a baseball game, every batter has a different stance. You watch a basketball, every shooter shoots different. It's the same thing playing DB. They're all going to be a little different with your principles that you coach them to have.
Second question on that. When you were talking about your off-man techniques, any double moves, do you teach them collision if they bite? Just go ahead and take them out? Or
always play through your man and man-to-man. All right? And one of the things that you guys probably want to write down is that when I play man-to-man, what is the goal? An incompletion, not an interception. Because when I play man-to-man, I'm trying to get the ball on the ground. And this is how I explain it to my guys. When you play man, what is the only way that you're going to get a minus? Your guy catches the ball. So why would you look for the ball when I just told you the only way you can get a minus is your guy didn't catch the ball? So when we go in training camp, we do one-on-ones and we do our team periods, especially early. In man calls, the ball should hit you in the helmet. Because think about it. Think about that kid who gets an interception the second day of practice on an outcut. I guarantee he gives up 5 out and ups the rest of training camp. Let it hit you in the helmet and show me you got great eye discipline, eye control. Your eyes are on your guy. But if he wants to look every time he comes out of break, he's a double move waiting to happen. But yes, if we do get a double move, we'll play through our man, we'll reroute, get into his hip, get back in phase, and finish down the field.
Do you have any technique or anything that maybe tell them when the ball is actually in the air now and they're in man coverage and then they're going for the ball? What's the indicator for them? Because we'll play great man technique, and at the very end, we lose it, and they'll make the catch.
Right.
What do you tell them in that situation?
And what I tell them is this, that obviously I'm playing man, my eyes are on his leverage hip. I got to realize which zone am I in. For us, 0 to 5, quick game, right? I'm driving, probably making a tackle if I'm off. Now, as we get from 5 to 15, I'm thinking there's the outs, there's the dig. I want to try to get into his hip, try to get what we call in phase. And meaning this, if coach stands up and we're running down the field and I'm the DB, I want to be in phase with coach, but I want to be in control of coach. And what I tell him, you're in control when I'm running in phase and I can see his opposite front pocket. So as I'm running, this is the position I want to be in because I want to be able to see his opposite front pocket. So as we're running, we're 5 to 15. I'm still seeing his pocket because now I got outs, digs, right? Now he passes 15. Now we're in deep ball territory. Now my eyes come up. And now as my eyes come up, now I want to start reading inside shoulder to his chin. Because that's going to tell me where the ball's going. Because now if the ball is an underthrow, which is the hardest one to defend, catch an underthrow from him. Look with his shoulder and his chin, they came back to me. So when they start to come back to me, I know I got to get long, this way. As we start getting past 15, now I got to start trying to squeeze to get in phase, and now I can look for the ball. Okay, now here we go. As I'm looking for the ball, where am I? Right? On our field, the top of the numbers is 7 yards from the sideline. On our field in Lincoln, we have a line painted red 5 yards from the sideline. So now, if that line is right here, sideline's over here, and he's inside of that line. He's inside of it. So he's on this side of it. As I'm running and they throw a 9 ball, I want to turn into him. Because now I got to know that quarterback's taught to throw it in the bucket. That if I look and lean, that guy's going to fade away from me. I can't make the play. Does that make sense? So if I'm inside that line, I teach those guys to play through him, and now I can play the jump ball this way. He gets close to the sideline. He's below that line, right? I don't push in the table, coach. He's below that line. Now I've reduced the space. Now I can work to squeeze him, look and lean, because I'm riding him out of bounds. Does that make sense? And so that's how you want to play. But now, I think one of the other things that you got to do as a coach, come here, put your hands up to catch the ball. Now, and we do this in our finish part. We used to do this on Wednesdays. Now, as I'm running to defend Coach Strong here, as I'm running to defend it, every time, the first time we do it, that ball's coming, they want to try to bat the ball down. You have to be almost perfect to do that. Almost perfect. But if Coach puts his hands up high, put them up high, Coach, he'll never catch the ball with no hands. So sometimes you try to bat it down, and they miss it, right? But if he puts his hands up, I'm here, I can split him. Or if he catches it, where is he naturally going to bring it? I'll pop it out from the bottom. But that volleyball deal is almost the hardest way to get the ball out. Okay, and then
10-minute warning, 5 2-minute warnings.
Okay, and then the last thing that we like to do is this on a 9 ball. That as we're running, coach will catch a 9, put his hands out. So I'm here. I want to play with my long arm, and then so he's here. Coach catches the ball. Where is he naturally going to tuck it? In his outside arm. So we practice, boom, immediate punch out. So you got to practice. Thanks, coach. You got to practice all the ways that they can get in down the field, and that's the hardest part as a coach, because there's a lot of different scenarios that they can get in.
Yeah, that's
but,
the toughest thing for DB coach DBs.
Yeah, and the best thing that
right there.
And the best thing that you can do to practice that is into the route drills. Like, you don't have to work it all 30 yards down the field. We probably work deep balls at least once a week, like the long 50, 60-yard throws, but a lot of our stuff is into the route. Yeah. Hand position, swatting the ball, getting it out, punching, all that different stuff.
What's the best way you've seen to manage both corners and safeties? Because it's a different position. So how do you effectively do it?
Great question. And that's kind of the first year I coached, I was only the corner guy.
Yeah, I
and then I went to Tennessee, and I had a great GA who he kind of handled the safeties. Mm-hmm. And then I come to Nebraska, and there's 26 guys in there. But we're a little bit different because Bo is a DB guy. JP is the coordinator. He has a secondary background. So we divide them up a lot, okay? Mm-hmm. The good thing is if you use ABCs, that goes to corners, nickels, dimes, safeties. We're all going to do that. But I think as far as you teaching it, you have to make sure you have balance in how you're presenting it to them. Meaning, if you're going to talk safeties, you only can talk that for 3 minutes. You got to get right back to corners for 3 minutes. And you got to have balance, because if you get in there and you go safeties for 20, the corner's over there picking his nose, falling asleep, and then you come back to him 20 minutes later and he's out of it. So I think as you going through your teaching cut up, you want to make sure you have balance for the guys that you're going to be coaching. So if it's corners for 3 plays, it should be safeties for 3. Then nickel for, just to keep them going. Okay? Yep. And then I think also as a coach, you always have to require them to give you some feedback. Like, hey, PJ, what's the call? Miami. All right, what safety's in the fit, Damien? Solid side safety. Are you worried about the crack on the weak side corner? No, coach. Why? Solid side safety's in the fit. You know, you got to get them all to make sure they understand, because although they're different, we play off of each other. All right, and then the one thing that I do, and I think it works great, is all of our, like our 4/3 games, cluster, palms, we do like a county fair, meaning everybody is going to play the position. And what I mean is this, like, say we're playing palms. There's the ball. So I know right now I'm going to have a guy here, and a safety here, or somebody here. But we'll match routes, and I'll have nickels there, corners there, safeties there, and they'll rotate through, taking routes at every one. So even the corner is going to end up playing safety. The corner is going to end up playing nickel. And I think that gets them to understand, what's that nickel's responsibility? Why am I not taking that back? Oh, because the nickel's taking it. Why is that safety has to be inside of 2? Because of the, so they all get a feel of how we all play off of each other. And you're not just saying, hey, they get the feel of doing. And I think that really works well for them.
I got one more question. The backside, I guess we had corner. You can do the trip, for example.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a wheel, does the backer take the wheel?
The backer.
Wheel route?
Yeah.
Oh, wheel route.
Yeah, the wheel route.
And our base. What are we playing? Quarters or?
Yeah, quarter.
Yeah, it'll be, depends on what we're playing, but yeah, it'll be this guy. If we clouded it, obviously be him. But if we got something like that, yeah, he would run with it. But again, he would be there to help you, depending on what happens. For us, that'll be the mic, because if we're playing quarters.
You guys play a lot of film boundary or
As far as the backers,
just strength?
our nickel goes to passing strength, and our dime will really match the tight end number 3.
Look at doing that wheel out of the trip slope. Because if that X guy gives you an inside release, you're teaching your safety to play aggressive with your corner high. So now is the backer still responsible for the wheel, or is the corner going to peel off?
Backside of 3 over here.
Yes, sir.
What coverage are we playing?
3, so 4 and 3.
If we're playing 3 now, really, when you play 3, I mean, he's going to be 4 first crosser, right? So if you got some type of break right here, the corner's going, so there's his 4, he would take it.
Okay.
And run with it, because, you know, obviously, he'll be a buzz guy anyway in 3D.
Okay.
So it'll come right to him. You like that 4 first crosser?
What in the beginning of your coaching career, I know you started out in high school. What did you do to separate yourself from other coaches to get to this point in your coaching career, and how did you get that GA? What's the process of doing things like that?
Luck.
Look,
a lot of luck, and you just gotta, you gotta work. Mm-hmm. And really, there's not.
There's not a recipe for it.
No, it's not a recipe, but you gotta work. You gotta work, and I think the biggest thing that you gotta do is you film. There's no substitute for film, because you can make yourself a better coach by studying more, watching film, testing yourself. Because a lot, there ain't a big difference between college coaches and high school coaches. I'm here to tell you. You know what it is? We got more time.
Yeah.
We got more time, and I think the biggest thing that happens is the more time you have, the more preparation that you put in, your presentation becomes a lot better. Mm-hmm. And I think when you're at the high school level, whether you're a position coach or a coordinator or a head coach, you always got to be the head coach of which you're in control of. So when I was a secondary coach at Destrehan High School, I was the head coach of the secondary. And I handled that like I was the head coach of the team. When I was a defensive coordinator, I was the head coach of the defense, and I handled that just like I would handle a team. And you and that has to be your mindset. You can't ever want to move up if you say, I'm just a position coach. I'm the head coach of the corners, and we're going to be the best damn corners around. And that's from making good grades. My guys play good, they do it right, they play hard, and they respect it. And then as you keep moving up, eventually your work is going to speak for yourself. But I think the biggest thing that I've seen over the years is that because of, I think, the pay, and I think because of what high school coaches have to do, second sports, different things like that, that it's hard to put in the time or to get out in clinic with different groups, because that's how you're going to continue to develop. And I tell my guys all the time, if you sit around the same guys and hear the same ideas for 15 to 20 years, you're going to be the same guy. But if you're going to go and move up and continue to develop, you got to get around a different circle. And then the last thing is, you got to sacrifice. You got to sacrifice, because when I sold that house, you don't know how many people told me and my wife that we were the craziest people in the world. To sell a house, move into a 2-bedroom apartment, and take a GA job. But you got to sacrifice for what you want to do. And the last thing is, everybody has to get out of your comfort zone. You got to get out of your comfort zone if you want to keep going. Because it's easy. My wife says all the time, if she wouldn't have married me, she would have worked at the same school for 30 years. That was our comfort zone. Now we've moved 6 times in 8 years. Right? She's having the time of her life, because JP says she's on full scholarship. But you know what I'm saying? But she got out of our comfort zone. Right? And so my in-laws are coming tonight, so we'll be. Good luck. Yeah. Sacrifice, baby. I'll be watching the film. I'll be watching the film. Anything else, guys? Shoot them at me.
Coach, what are your top 3 drills?
Top 3 drills. Oh, good question. Top 3 drills. One of the drills I really like is kind of what he said in the back, is the 3-cone drill. And the 3-cone drill, it really works into the route breaks. And in a 3-cone drill, here's the sideline. And there's a yard mark. And so the DBs are going to start right here. Their toes will be on the sideline. And there's a cone here, and a cone here. And so that guy's going to start, and he'll be straddling that yard mark. And all I'll say is, I'll say open right, drive right. So if I'm the DB, here's the sideline, they're straddling it, and I'll say open right. So open right means I'm open here, and I will go back to the back cone, so I'm here, and I'm driving right. So I'll plant, and I'll be driving to that cone, okay? So the reason I like the drill, it keeps everything nice and tight. It's not one of those drills. One thing, I turn the tape off, recruit. If I see a DB who's a long strider, I'm not really in love with it. Because I think as a DB, you have to be tight. And what I tell them is your footwork should be in a phone booth. Nice and tight. So open right, drive right. He gets to that cone, he's going to plant, point, and he'll drive through the cone. No balls. Because I want to see his eyes down, getting through the receiver. The reason I like the drill is because you can get a lot of reps in a short period of time. Open right, drive right. Open right, zone left. Open left, roll over right. And they bang, 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 where they can get up, get a lot of reps, and you can see their footwork nice and tight. And they're really running through the breaks at the end of the route. Okay? The next drill I like to do is called mirror drill. And what I do in the mirror drill, coach, get up, I'm here, and we're coming. And so I'm in control of coach, but again, we're jogging. We're jogging, so we're here. We're here, and then now, coach, you're going to take about 3 steps up, and then you're going to run, just bend out for me, okay? Oh, jog, we're jogging, hip, go up, and I'm here. And I really want to see their eyes on the hip. And then we'll come back for level 2. Now, coach, you're going to go out and up. I'm here, eyes on the hip, eyes on the hip. So now they get the feel of, I'm in phase, my eyes are low, I'm sinking my hips, he stops, I drop, and then I can also play a double move. So that's two of my favorite drills. And you know, when we do drills, a lot of times they know it's going to be the ABCs. In training camp, I'll let the starters say what y'all want to do today. And then what I found, that makes them buy in to what we're doing. Hey, what do you guys want to do today? Nah, if we play shitty, I'll say what we're doing. But I do give them some freedom. And I think the more that you can let your players feel like they're involved in what's going on, the better off your practices. Anybody else? Guys, I really appreciate it. If you guys need cut-ups, handouts, questions, don't hesitate to email me. One thing I'll tell you, and I learned this, if you just click on my name on a website, I won't get that email. It goes recruiting, and you got to type it in your email. So if you just go to my website and click on, it won't come directly to me. But if you type it in, it'll go right to me.
When's the best time after bowl season?
Anytime's good. Probably for me to get right back to you would probably be after signing day, because that way I know I'll be in the office. Because sometime I'll be recruiting, I'll get an email, and I might not look at it for a few days. My wife tells me that all the time. Anything else?
Well, if you got just a second.
Yeah.
Pursuit. You guys did do team pursuit defense. Do you do it in regular practice or?
We do pursuit, and the big thing with pursuit is obviously the angles. Okay, there's a ton of pursuit drills.
You mix them up a lot?
We do mix them up a lot, and the thing, like if we, we've been practicing for this game for, a while, but the biggest thing I like to do on the back end, okay, is I grade every practice. Well, the GAs grade every practice. Effort I'm talking about. And this is what I do. And this, I think you can get some out of it, is what I tell them is this. On a running play, everybody has to touch the ball carrier in the secondary. Right? Everybody has to get two hands on the ball carrier. I don't give a damn if it's 45 yards away from you. It's a run, you got to get to the ball. If it's a pass and you're away from the action, I got to get a 10-yard burst. So I got to see you put your foot in the ground, and I got to see a burst to the direction that the ball was thrown. And so now my GA's graded, and so they put the effort on there. And also what I do is every day, the free safety grades the strong safety. The strong safety grades the free safety. Strictly effort. So I say, hey, tomorrow guys, period 2. So when they go home, we use huddle. They know they're grading period 2. Free grade the strong, corner grade the corner, nickel grade the dime. Vice versa. So now, give your buddy his grade sheet. So now, PJ, you are a traitor on play 3 because you got a loaf and your partner told you it was a loaf. Is that what we accept? Hey, corner on play 15, you didn't give it to us. Is that what we're about? And it makes those guys get to the rock.
So you use a practice film for huddle?
Yeah, our guys, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. And those guys, and we did a test, and I didn't even know it. I don't even know if you knew it, but PJ, my starting safety and my nickel, our video guys gave them iPads. But what the guys didn't know is the iPads had a monitor on it that they can tell how much film they watch. Over 200 hours throughout the season. On their own, not in the building. So they are watching it. And so now next year will be the first year that all of our guys will have iPads issued, where they always have access to it. So it's a good deal for us. Guys, I appreciate it. Hopefully we can cover these dogs on next week. It's going to be a tough matchup for us. Big, athletic receivers. But, one thing that's good about what we do at Nebraska, we do what we do. We're going to be in their face. We're going to be aggressive. And we're going to get after them. And, we talked about off man. If you want to get me cussing, play off man. We don't really, we kind of get down there and get in their face a little bit. And we want to challenge them. And as a DB coach, especially being in the press box, those foul balls are tough to watch. Because you watch and you go, oh, and you get away. But make the quarterback make throws. You got to make them make throws, and I think the softer you play, especially playing these spread offenses, they can pick you apart. Pick you apart. We're aggressive, and I think anybody in our league will tell you we probably toe the line of probably being too aggressive. But I think as a coach, it's easier to get them to back it down than to say, hey, let's go, get it. No, we're always up there, and then we'll back them down. Now, again, down in distance, the situation, but for the most part, shit, let's go. That's the way we play. And for us, it worked. I mean, we finished #1 in pass defense. We finished number 2 in the nation in pass defense efficiency. So we want to get up there and we want to challenge the throws and make them stick it in tight windows. And that's the way we go. But I appreciate you guys. Like I said, always get in contact. And if you guys ever, clinics, come on up in Nebraska for the clinic. It's not snowing, so you guys get up there and we can have a hell of a time. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.